I know 100 English words, but I only use 20 of them when I am speaking. What about the rest of the words? In this video, I will tell you 10 ways to learn English words for real. I mean, besides knowing their meanings, you can use them in your sentences and your daily conversations. So this video is very useful for you. Now what you're waiting for, let's watch it, learn it. The first way is to create a chain. Naturally, our brain connects things to remember them better. So why don't we use it to remember English words? For example, I want to remember the word abandon. First, I can search it on Google and I can see some photos about a dog that has been abandoned. Then I can search its meaning on a famous dictionary like Cambridge Dictionary, and I can see that it means to leave someone or something behind. And there are lots of examples that it is so important for you to read them to know how it is used in a context. Now you have two chains. Also, you can find some synonyms, collocations, or idioms that are related to this word so you can remember this better. For example, a synonym for abandon is leave someone or something behind. And you can remember the picture of that dog that has been abandoned. And every time you see that word, you can remember its meaning. What about the word beautiful? Can you make a chain for this word so we can remember this better? I will wait for you in the comments. The second way is to write a story. It can be a diary, a summary of your day, or even an imaginary story, whatever you like. I want you to start writing, and whenever you don't know that word in English, go and search it on famous dictionaries or even on Google and find its word and some examples for it, and also listen to its correct pronunciation and check its part of speech, like if it's a verb, a noun, an adjective, or an adverb, so you can use it in your sentence correctly. And if you want to improve your English level, you can make your sentences better. For example, I wrote the sentence, I saw a beautiful girl. Like instead of this basic sentence, I can say, I saw a drop-dead gorgeous girl, or I saw a stunning girl. So you are using your productive skill that can definitely help you to remember that word faster. Ready for the third way? Have a notebook wherever you go. Like when you are at a cafe and you suddenly hear a new word that is interesting and useful for you, you have to write it down as fast as possible. Otherwise, you will definitely forget it the next hour. Or when you are listening to the radio and suddenly you hear a funny idiom, try to write it down as soon as possible, and when you get home, you can write its meaning and some examples for it. You might ask, I have my phone in my hand, I don't need a notebook. Of course, it is totally okay. You can write and keep these idioms and words in your phone. Just remember to have a specific place for these idioms and words so you won't lose them. The way number 4 that I am a big fan of is have a partner. If you have a friend who is at the same level with you, it is a great idea to practice speaking. You guys can correct each other's mistakes, and also you can review new lessons together, which can definitely help you to improve your speaking skill. One of the best ways to remember a word is the spaced repetition technique. Here's the thing. I learned a word today, I will search for its meaning, its pronunciation, its part of speech, and also its meaning and some examples for it. Then I will write it down, I will write its part of speech, an example for it, and of course its meaning. And tonight before I go to bed, I will review this word, its pronunciation, and some other stuff that I talked about. The step number 2, I take a look at this word again 7 days later. I try to remember its meaning, and also I try to make an example with that word. The step number 3, I would do the same thing 16 days later after the second step. I will take a look at the word, I'll try to remember it and make an example with the word. The step number 4, I try to do the same thing 35 days later after the third step. This is the time when you place that word in your long-term memory, and that can definitely help you to remember that word for a long time. If you couldn't remember that word at any of these steps, you have to start all over again and do these 4 steps again until you remember that word and place that word in your long-term memory. Let's jump into the way number 6 is to watch your favorite movie. You know, when you enjoy doing something, you can definitely use it to learn something with it. So if you are a movie person, why don't you learn English with your favorite movies and TV shows? Let me give you an example. When I was 13 years old, I was a big fan of High School Musical. So whenever I watched that movie, if I saw a new word, I tried to search it on Google and find its meaning, so I could understand their conversation and what they are talking about. And the next time I watched that movie again, I could review all these new words for myself. That helped me to remember those words up until now. So it is a fabulous way to remember some words that are strange or new for you. Actually, I have a fabulous video about how to learn English by watching movies. I will put the link in the description. Just make sure to watch it after this video. It's going to be so useful for you to learn English words and idioms with your favorite movie. Another way that I used it to learn many words and phrases is to listen to your favorite song. Who is your favorite singer? If you listen to music a lot, why don't you take advantage from it? You know, we have lots of American singers who have great accents that you can learn English with. For example, we have Harry Styles, who I am a big fan of, or Adele, Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, Shawn Mendes, and too many other singers that have American accents. If you listen to your favorite song and read its lyrics at the same time, you will be encouraged to search for some words that you don't know their meanings. And after finding the meaning of new words from that song, every time you listen to that music, you can review their pronunciations and you can review their meanings in your mind. So that can definitely help you to learn many phrases, idioms, and new words. And I have a great video about best songs for intermediate level students. I will put the link in the description. You can check this out after this video. The way number 8 is to use English learning books. Just keep that in your mind to choose the book based on your English level. Otherwise, the words and grammar lessons might be challenging or even boring for you that you might get tired of after reading the first unit. So it is so important to choose that book based on your English level, and after choosing the best book for yourself, you can learn 1,000 words in different topics, you can learn grammar lessons and practice them with its workbook so you can remember them faster. Number 9 is to review regularly. As I have talked about this a few moments before, if you want to keep a word in your mind, you should review the words regularly. And by saying that, I don't mean to open your English books and read the new words aloud. As I talked about it before, try to make a story and use these words in your sentences so it helps you to use your productive skills as much as you can so you can remember that word very fast. And the last thing that I want to tell you in this video is don't learn a single word. If you have watched the first part of this video, you know what I'm talking about. As I have said, create a chain for yourself. When you learn a word, try to find other collocations, idioms, some prepositions for that word so you can remember that word better and you can expand your vocabulary so you will speak in English fluently and confidently because you know 1,000 words that you can use in your sentences. Let me give you an example. If I learn the word marry, I will learn some collocations too. For example, marry someone or get married. And I can search for some mistakes, so I will avoid those mistakes every time I speak. For example, instead of saying she is married with a doctor, I should say she is married to a doctor. Or some idioms like tie the knot, which means getting married. Okay guys, that was it for today's video. If this video was useful for you, don't forget to subscribe to my channel right now and like this video to support me and to let YouTube algorithm know that you have enjoyed this content. Also, if you know some other ways to learn English words with it, you can tell me in the comments, and if you have some other questions, you can ask me in the comments. So yeah, that was it for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye. Have a nice day.